Okay, this is going to be the third in the series of Illustrator Logo work. As you can see, we're still in Illustrator. I have cleaned up my artboard and just deleted anything extraneous. These are my 5 that I'm thinking about. And actually, I'm going to edit it down where I just pick a couple to show you what we do next. So what we do next is we're actually going to take these and convert them to grayscale tiffs and then into bitmap tiffs. And from Illustrator, I'll show you how to do that. The easiest way that I know how to do it is to actually put each one on its own artboard. So to get to the artboard tool, it's Shift-O, or if you want to, you can go here to it's much easier to go to the tool, the artboard tool, and you simply click and drag out whatever shape you want. And you can always change this. So I'm making mine, because these are kind of skinny, I'm going to use the Fiddlerama and Pop-Up Party. And I can see on my properties panel here, or even up at the top, that what I've done is I've created an artboard that's 2 inches by 3 inches. Again, if I want to make this a nice perfect number, I can type in the name, in the dimension. So now they're 2.5 by 3.5. Again, this is just for me to do easily. I'm going to click out so that I'm no longer in the artboard tool. I'm going over to my grouped pop-up party logo, and I'm going to hold the Option key down as I drag the pop-up party logo over onto that new artboard. And if I want to make it a little bit bigger, which I think I do, I'm going to hold the Shift key down as I drag a corner so I don't distort it. It's scaled properly. And I'm going to do that. That looks fine. And then I'm going to make another artboard. So I'm going back to the artboard tool, and I'm just kind of following my lead on the other one. I don't really need it to be a perfect number, but if you'd like to, you absolutely can type in the dimension in the width and the height. Now remember to click out of that, and I'm going to take my Fiddlerama. Whoops, I want to click out of the artboard tool, go to the black arrow tool, and I'm clicking on Fiddlerama. I'm holding the Option key down as I drag over onto the next artboard, and I am going to hold the Shift key down as I pull that one to make it a little bit bigger on the box. So now we have 2 artboards that just have logos on them. Now, this is the neat part. So if you want to just use this one, for instance, on this artboard, what you're going to do is you're going to click on it, and you're going to go up to File, Export, Export As. Up comes a window, and you're going to say, which one is this? This is Pop-Up Party. I'm going to say Pop-Up Party Logo, and I've made it a TIFF down here, so that's important. And I'm going to say Use Artboard. So this is all at the bottom of the window. I'm going to make that a little smaller. Now, there's 3 artboards. This is 1, 2, and 3. I don't want to use all of them. I just want to use number 2 right now, which happens to be in there, but you would type in 2, and you're going to export, and you're going to export it to, I'm going to make a new folder saying TIFs, logos. And I'm going to say Create, and I'm going to export it. Now this is the neat part. In the TIFF options, it's saying what color model do you want to use. So we can say grayscale, because we know we're going to put it into grayscale anyway. And then you just say OK, and it should be done. I'm going to go do the other one as well. So I'm going to Fiddlerama. I'm going to go up to Export, Export As, and I'm going to call this one Fiddlerama Logo. And it's already because I just made it a TIFF, it remembers that. But I'm going to click on Use Artboards. I'm going to click on Range, but this time I'm going to say 3. And then I'm going to find my TIFFs and Logos folder, and I'm going to export it to there. And again, I'm going to change it to grayscale. And we're going to say OK. Let's see if that worked. All right, so now I'm switching to Photoshop. I'm going to open up those. So here they are in my folder, tiffs logos. I'm going to open up both of them together. So they're open in different tabs. And let's see if it worked. And it seems as if it did, because if we look here at the top in our tabs, there's the name, the TIFF, and notice it says gray and gray. So these indeed are grayscale. So now all we have to do is go up to Image, to Mode. Because they're already grayscale, we're going to change them to Bitmap. It's going to say flatten. You're going to say OK. You are going to change, if this isn't what it is, it should be 1200 pixels per inch at 50% threshold. Say OK. And then most importantly is Save As. And I always name them so that I have one to come back to, Bitmap, TIFF. And I'm going to put that in there. And we're going to say OK. This one, Fiddlerama, same thing. I'm going to go to Image, Mode. Now it's already grayscale. I'm going to Bitmap. I'm going to say yes to that, and I'm going to say OK to that. And then I'm going to Save As, Fiddlerama Bitmap. And this is important because as you bring this into InDesign, as you place it into InDesign, when it says the bitmap, you know you can colorize that. And you can tell a bitmap, it always looks actually kind of chunky and pixelated, and it's okay. It prints beautifully. It's not an issue at all. Okay, so let's go to InDesign. And I'm just, even though I've already built my entire project out, we're going to pretend that it's not all there, and I'm just going to illustrate to you how this works. So right now we are going to place those logos, or a logo. So I'm going to go to Command D to place, or Control D. I have to find these now, so luckily they're in a folder. I'm going to grab the bitmap TIFF, and I'm going to say Open. Oops, you know what I did? I actually had my big, huge collage selected when I did that, so it was replacing it. So now I've got nothing selected. Control, Command D, go to the logo, bitmap logo, say Open. It loads it up in the cursor. I'm just going to stick it right over Disney Hall. I know this looks a little crazy. And if we wanted to colorize it, we would click on it with our white arrow tool. We would get our swatches out, and the only colors I have are the ones in my palette, and that's how I colorize it. I'm going to do that for the other one just to show you. So I called them both the same thing. Ooh, oh yes, no I didn't. Fiddlerama Logo Bitmap. Okay. So I'm going to say OK. Oops, I did it again. If this happens to you, it's because you inadvertently clicked on the big image collage. So you don't want to do that. Just Command Z, and it just loads it into the cursor. I'm going to put it in there. And again, I'm going to click on it with the white arrow tool so I get that hand over the donut. And I'm going to colorize it and move it as green. So that looks ridiculous on my page, but you get the idea. So that's it. That's all three parts of how to make a logo. I hope that helps. And good luck, and let me know if there's any questions. Goodbye.